So yeah, we do this every Monday morning, 9 a.m. My name is Alan Bridge. I'm the managing broker here at Maximum Realty and Realtor Partners.
My name's Ming Richardson, I'm the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partner.
And we wanted to kind of start off talking about what's like tomorrow. Tuesday is the Burnett trial, and that's the one.
What is that, Alan?
Well, that's where NAR is getting sued, basically, kind of thing. NAR and several other brokerages that are still in it. There's several brokerages that have went ahead and paid. They just want to get out of it. And this is one that really comes down to buyer brokerage, protecting buyer agent commissions, that kind of thing. And so you may have clients who ask you about it. And so here in Georgia, we're not directly affected because there is no price fixing of commissions in Georgia. You can't set commission rates. You can't require a seller to provide with a buyer's agent commission. That's not required. And so we've not had that. But you may have some folks ask about it. And so still be prepared to talk about, this is the value that I bring to the transaction. Like we have to come in and be prepared to discuss our commissions with our clients. It's just kind of like given now. You can't just act like they automatically know. And so don't just take a passive role in this. Like, these are the services I provide. These are the fees that I charge. And then everything's on the up and up. Right?
Absolutely. And you probably gonna get a lot of rebuttal from the seller. So, well, according to NAR, they got sued, whatever. But you have to explain to the seller the reason why you think 6% or whatever percentage you put on the paper is a smart idea. Just because, at the end of the day, the buyer's agent is going to ask for that co-op commission.
Well, yeah, exactly. But be prepared. That's the thing. In the past, people, especially agents, just didn't want. I shouldn't have to discuss my commission.
Correct.
Well, suck it up, Buttercup. You have to. That's just how it is.
Honestly, the better you practice at it and understand and give the seller your value, the better the most likely you'll get the listing.
Yep, exactly. All right. Now a recent question that we've been getting lately, and we're starting to see where solar panels are showing up in some of our contracts. And we also have some clients that, we've recently had some buyers that were looking for houses with solar. And what I find is that a lot of agents don't really understand very much about solar panels and solar electricity and how it really works. So we wanted to just kind of cover a few things about solar that not a lot of agents know. And so one of the first thing is that like on a lot of solar systems, they may have to be taking over payments depending on how that seller has the solar.
So I had a classic case where the seller basically purchased a solar system. The total purchase price was $27,000 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? Because it's attached to the house, it
becomes a second mortgage in most cases.
And lender has to approve this, y'all.
Yep.
So it's not just the actual solar panel itself, is that the lender has to approve your assumable loan, because your debt to income ratio may be higher than what is allowed by the loan. Loan.
Yeah, because it could throw it off. One other thing is that solar, you really have two types of solar systems. One is a battery system where the solar panels collect the electricity and they store it in batteries. And the other is where it basically uses the grid as like a big battery. It adds electricity into the grid during the day, and at night it takes it back out, and then you end up with kind of a net wash. Batteries are very, very expensive, and you have to replace those. But these are the things that we have to be conscious of. One other really interesting point is that guess what's required?
Sunlight,
right?
So you don't have any sunlight, guess what?
Yeah, I mean, like putting it in on a, like our house has a lot of trees around it. It would not be a good choice for solar kind of thing.
And some people just don't want them because they don't look pretty on top of your roof.
Well, some people think they don't look. Some people think it makes it look very techy and modern and updated. But we have to understand that for solar panels, it's a lot like pools. Like either you love them or you hate them. Like I must have a pool or I must not. Same thing. Some folks are going to insist on solar, and some folks are going to be like, "Oh, no way, that's ugly."
And the last is the warranty, y'all. The warranty is only good if the company's still around. Okay, I love. I'm not being funny, but how many people we know that start a business and go out?
Well, a lot of the solar companies there's been a lot of flux, I guess you'd say. Folks in and out of the market, in and out of the industry, that kind of stuff. So, is the warranty on those solar panels still good? Is it
transferable?
sometimes like the solar company, the panel company will warranty the panels, but the people who install it are the ones that's got to be based on the installer. So these are just things to be conscious of if you're working with solar panels and those kind of things. So changing gears over. So let's
talk about credit.
Well,
credit company.
Well, TransUnion was just sued. Okay, the Federal Trade Commission and FTC or CFPB, I'm sorry, just sued TransUnion for $23 million because they were impeding tenants' ability to obtain housing. Basically, they were breaking the rules and what they were doing. Now, at the same time, they were selling tenant screening services over kind of thing, and so there was definitely some shuffling cards and things kind of going on back and forth. What we really want to talk to you about and what we want to urge you is to go check your credit scores, check your credit reports. We have our big three, TransUnion,
Equifax, TransUnion, and
the other one that our brain stopped working. Anyway, you have the credit unions. Check and see what's on those reports. Sometimes things are on those reports that shouldn't be on there, medical bills, things like that. And then sometimes there's just big gaps. Sometimes there's wrong information. Checking your credit scores and credit report is smart for you, for your clients, the whole 9 yards. Please go out and check those kind of things.
Experian is the other one.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Good job. See, we share a brain some days. Yeah, exactly. All right. So there's a new consumer attitudes towards home buying and selling are out. So the home purchase sentiment index came out, and needless to say, it came out pretty low on is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? It was not necessarily seen negatively, but is it a good time to buy? It continues to be kind of it keeps going down right now. And we kind of have some pessimistic attitudes kind of across the board here.
Absolutely.
We're seeing things like at the same time, this same group, they asked multiple questions, and one of the things is the economy on the right track or the wrong track? And overall, folks are generally unhappy with the economy. And so, buying and selling, and while it's not, like residential real estate isn't directly tied to the economy. It's based on supply versus demand. But
the sentiments are.
Yeah, the sentiments are, like it's still kind of going on out there. And so all that being said, even though people are still really, really negative, they say, you know what? If you could, would you buy? If you could, would you buy? And 70% of the folks say, yeah, I'd buy.
So you absolutely still got 30% that wants to rent. And a lot of that rental is due to personal history sometimes. And also
there's always a segment of our market is always going to rent.
There's sometimes jobs are temporary, so they're not going to buy when they know they're not going to be in town for a long time.
Well, the thing is that even if you look on here, especially over the last 3 years, this really hasn't changed regardless of, like interest rates have gone up and down during the time here, but still it's right around 70% of folks say that they would still buy. And I guess that's what I want you to understand is that even though we see a lot of economic data going on, even though people are feeling really kind of blah at best at times, there's not a lot of excitement. Still, for years and years and years, people say, I would much rather buy. I want to buy. That's what I want to do. And so don't talk yourself into believing and don't become the pessimistic person yourself and talking yourself out of business.
Once again, about change your perspective. If you have a good perspective, guess what? The people's going to feel it. And they're going to trust you to guide them to the right path. Yeah.
And so even if you're down, you still want to buy a house, right?
Absolutely.
So now at the same time, what's our biggest cause of concern? We're still running about 7.5 on interest rates. So they're still really, really hot and heavy. They're high. And so this week, National Association of Realtors, National Association of Home Builders, and Mortgage Bankers Association all did a, hey, Mr. Powell, please.
You're killing us.
Yeah, killing me smiles kind of thing, kind of went on. And to a large part, it's because of this. Like, you can see what's going on with core inflation and headline inflation, and the difference between the two. Headline keeps into account energy and food and energy,
Right.
whereas core, those are just ones, and we're seeing core steadily decline. It's dropping. So we see things moving in a very consistent pattern in the same way. You can kind of see what's kind of gone on with our inflation levels. And so as that inflation is continuing to taper off, we should be able to start seeing some relief here. And part of it is just the language, because mortgage rates are really tied to the 10-year treasury, and the treasury numbers move based on the language of the Fed, what they talk about in meetings, things like that. It's really, and that's causing us a lot of angst. We know that right now, you want to see the real estate market blow up, see interest rates soften, we're going to be on fire kind of thing is where we're at. So, but I want to talk to you about, a little bit more about like what are our buyers really looking at, and what do they need to know? And so in the mortgage world, there's this 28% rule. And the 28% rule says that you should keep your mortgage payment under 28% of your gross income. And so that's a really good rule of thumb. And a lot of folks don't really understand, especially in the real estate industry, even though we are the largest source for our clients' financial information when it comes to mortgages. They come to us before they come to a mortgage lender in a lot of cases. And I'm not saying they should, I'm just saying that they do. And so because of which, we have to be ready to discuss some basic things like the 28% rule. And so your income should, that your mortgage payment should be under 28% of your gross income. And overall, the 36% rule, which runs with it, is that your total debt, right? All your student loan payments, car payments, mortgage, that kind of stuff, it should be less than 36%. That's really kind of the, those are the golden rules of mortgage. And what a lot of mortgage lenders look at is this mortgage stress threshold, which is basically 30%. When you're at 30% or greater of your housing cost of your total income, that's a lot of stress on your household. And so we kind of know this going into it. And so at the same time, what I want to kind of share with you is this is the renter burden in Georgia. And this is a share of household income needed for the typical asking rent in the state of Georgia is 30.5%, which is higher. Okay, remember we just talked about 28% is the goal. Like that should be the high, and that for mortgages, the mortgage stressor, the point at which people become stressed is when it hits 30%. Guess what our renters are paying right now?
They're paying more than 28.
30 and a half. And so, yes, I know interest rates are high, but guess what? Guess what the interest rate is on rent? It's 100%, okay? Because you're not getting anything. So don't look at any of the financial information. Don't look at any, what's going on with the economy. Understand that this is why people say, like, would you rather buy than rent? Yes, because rents are costly. Like even though interest rates are high, when you rent, you're paying, not only are you paying that property owner's mortgage, you're also paying their profit. And they may have bought at a recent date, so you may be paying higher, helping them pay higher interest rates to begin with. So just understand that this is kind of the market that we're going into, and this is where we're at right now. And so
Alan's always says better buy than rent, and this is the reason why. And if the renter is paying 30.5%, they sure can afford a 28%.
Yeah. But now competition's high.
Absolutely.
Well, competition is high for like here in Georgia. And so in Georgia, loan applications are down about 14%. Statewide, whether it's refi, finance, purchase apps, whole 9 yards. State of Georgia, applications are down about 14%. Guess what is going on with the NAR membership during that same time frame? Up almost 2%. So that means there's more of us competing for less people. Oh, and I say that not to be depressing, right? Because what you're going to find is that the cream rises to the top.
Absolutely.
And so there's still, we're still selling 11,000 houses every single day. And so, yes, is there a lot of competition? You betcha there sure is.
Absolutely.
Are there a lot of people giving up? Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. And so, like for the folks out there hustling, the folks out there saying, listen, when other people run from the market, I'm running to the market. That's the place to be right now, right? Because there is still a great potential for what's really going on. So one thing that we are seeing right now is listings. We're having more and more listings taking a price cut right now. We are shifting at this moment into a pretty good market for buyers. I mean, and I'm being very, and I know
last week was the best week, and I see more reduction in price come through our hot sheet. And so it is happening, and a lot of folks have listed property, a regular 3.2, maybe 1,300 square foot, for almost $300,000. While that's, what it would go for during uptick the market, but for today, buyer being very selective on what they want to purchase.
Well, and we're not seeing, let me back up and say, we're not seeing properties drop. What we're seeing is unrealistic properties not go out. We're seeing where the sellers can't just say, well, let's just try it. It's not working. And so really, looking at your comps and good properties and good areas that are well maintained, location, condition, all matches up with price, they're selling quickly. But when for the folks who are like, well, I'm not going to make these repairs. Okay, you're going to take a price reduction. Well, I'm not going to make, I'm just going to throw this price out here, or I'm going to do this. Guess what those folks are having? They're having to take price cuts. And so it's turning into a really good market right now for buyers, because at the same time, we also see that new listings are increasing. Now, we're not up where we were. Okay, I don't mean to show that we are where we should be, but what we are seeing is a very serious improvement, right? And that part of it is seasonal. We always have less buyers this time of year, but we're seeing an uptick in the number of inventory. And honestly, inventory has been a bigger challenge for us than interest rates have been, especially for the past 6 months. And so we're seeing where like the number of new listings coming in are really starting to improve right now.
Absolutely.
And overall, our total inventory also moving up, right? And so are we where we should be? No, we're nowhere near where we should be. Is it moving in the right direction? You betcha, kind of thing. And so this is, previously that was for the nation, but here in Georgia, in the Atlanta area, we're seeing our weekly for sale inventory is moving up. It continues to move up. So even though we're not where we are,
we're improving.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I need all help I can get. All right. Now at the same time, one area that is very popular for us and is something that you really need to make sure you're building into your repertoire is new construction. And so, new construction here in the South is up 17% year over year, and it's up about 4% since pre-pandemic, meaning even after the pandemic, we're still higher than where we were before the pandemic. And so we're seeing where total new construction is up, pendings, completed, all that kind of stuff. So because inventory has been so tight, this has been a big source of inventory for us.
Absolutely.
The other thing that's really happening right now, we're seeing where a lot of our builders are doing 2-1 buy downs, 3-2-1 buy downs. They're doing complete buy downs. The builders are really offering a lot of incentives on the interest rate front. And so for those folks who are feeling interest rate pinches, this could be another place where you're going to help find inventory as well as maybe some better pricing.
Absolutely.
All right. Whoops, went the wrong way. Yep. All right. So we got to watch out for title pirates. Title pirates are back. They've been around, kind of thing, but it's getting bigger right now. And so real estate and rental scams are almost $400 million this past year. That's a really big number. And what title pirates are, and we have some role to play here, because title pirates are folks that are going in property that doesn't have a mortgage. Most of the time, vacant land, empty houses, things like that. And then they're
creating a fake ID.
Yeah, it's always a fake ID.
Presenting them as a seller, 9 out of 10, they won't come to closing, but they'll send out a documentations for closing. And the wires typically to a account which close immediately after closing once the fund has been received. So they're hard to trace after closing. And this is why your buyer needs to buy title insurance,
Well,
because without it, I can tell you, your buyer might be in debt for something they can't obtain or move in.
well, the other thing here that we have is yes, what Ming said is exactly right. But now what we have folks that are faking documents,
Mhm.
forging documents, going in and actually taking title and not selling it. I mean, they are selling it eventually, but what they're doing it, like what Ming's talking about, they act like the seller. Well, instead of acting like the seller, they're going out and actually presenting documents to the courthouses and things like that. So guess what? On paper, they really do look like the actual owners of the property. And then we're turning around and selling it for them, only to come find out that the real owners never did it. And so there's some issues going on with the county registrars, with the with all of our counties and cities about.
Look for the court. I mean, they're
Yeah.
reporting at what they see, and apparently these are notarized documents. So, the notary, is it important for you guys to check out, make sure the notary is valid? Every state has a notary site, and you can double check that if you need to. But once again, that is typically a closing attorney job here in the state of Georgia. A good attorney will catch all these things right before closing. And the unfortunate thing is that, especially when you have absentee owners that are either estate was inherited the property through estate, has no desire to come to Georgia or any other states. And that's what these folks target, is that folks that are absentee owners or owners that do not know what's going on.
Now, for us, the big deal is if it walks like a duck and it quack
like a
quack,
duck.
thank you, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And so if your spidey sense goes off during a transaction, that like the seller seems fishy, something weird going on, dig deeper, bring your brokers into the equation, that kind of stuff. We just got to be really smart about it.
Yeah, we have one that was a handyman for a seller, and my agent, at the time, was very rookie, and then realized that was the handyman, sign a contract, and then just to find out the signature on the contract was not the owner of the contract. Yeah. So a lot of marketing, a lot of expenses withdrawal. So y'all just do your due diligence on the listing side.
Yeah. Now, Zillow Flex has raised their fees to 40%. And so I'm not saying this because, gosh, I want you to go see, like look at this. This is a good deal. What I want you to see is that this is Zillow's revenue bridge, meaning that by 2025, they want to increase their revenue by $3 billion. See, their revenue in 2021 was $2 billion. They want $5 billion by 2025. And they're looking at adding $1.5 billion through their Zillow Premier Agent site. So I'm not, and so this is not a Zillow advertisement. As a matter of fact, this is the exact opposite. What I see is that there's a lot of folks that will gladly pay Zillow 40%.
Correct.
And I'm not, and don't get me wrong, like 40% of something is better than 100% of nothing. But please don't replace all your marketing, whether it's realtor.com or Zillow or Homes or whoever. The vast majority of our clients, 80% of our clients are from referrals and past clients, from people we know and people that know us, right? And that's where the biggest piece of our business comes from. So nurturing those relationships, using your databases, your KV cores and your chimes and those kind of things, not just paying out for leads from Zillow is really going to be the right place for us to be. So please, if you're not buying leads from Zillow, you don't really care how much Zillow flipping charges, right? And that's the big deal here.
Well, the thing is that, like the old adage in the past, we let the cat out of the bag, and now Zillow's selling our own data back to us for leads.
Yeah.
So, understand this is how they're gaining their traction, is by hooking more agent onto the system, and they get paid.
Well,
and there's money in data.
Yeah.
This is what Alan and I keep on telling you guys. You have your own data. Use them. Don't go out and work twice as hard getting cold leads versus a warm lead to someone you know. Now, it's all about practicing being proficient. Get an accountability, and get someone. Mark Jenkins is starting one right now with us, and it's about script and be comfortable. So utilize that because that's only going to make you a much better agent.
And we have accountability every Monday morning, right? And so the big, my big challenge for you right now is what's your agent mindset? Is that, you know what, our market has a lot of challenges, or guess what, our market has a lot of opportunities. There's more millionaires made in a down market than in an up market. We've been through, we're not spring chickens, okay? We've been through several down. Yeah, I know. She wears it way better than I do. But like we've been through several down markets, and we come through them normally stronger afterwards, kind of thing, because we look at what are our market opportunities. There's always going to be challenges, even in up markets. There's all sorts of challenges going on, and any of them you can take to choose, or that you can say this is a reason why I'm not doing well, or you can say, you know what, there's some opportunities that this market has that where I can actually gain market share, where I can engage with clients more often. I think right now, just the fact that so many agents this time of year start taking October, November, December off, they check out over the next 3 months. That is a huge opportunity for those of us that are not going to check out. We know that October, November, December are 3 slowest months of the year. We lose a week of marketing in November. We lose 2 weeks of marketing basically in December. Look, now's the time to up your engagement. Now is the opportunity where you can really go out and crush it. So this week, tomorrow, I'm teaching fast top dollar home sales with staging. That's going to be over in our Newton office. On Wednesday, we have your home, what's inside. That's going to be in the McDonough office.
Hey, listen, that class is really, really great.
It's kind of a boring name, but it's a really good class.
I have a lot of people complimenting that class after they take it. It's like, oh, I wish I'd known this.
Yeah, and then on Thursday, this is a 6-hour CE. This is a new agent boot camp. I know it's all day, but
you can spend a day with Al.
Yeah, but it's good. You're not coming to. But this is for brand new agents. We talk a lot about just the basics and that kind of stuff. This is meant for new people, even folks that aren't in real estate yet. So that's who this class is. You can't get CE credit.
Well, you can't get CE credit if you're not a licensed realtor.
But you can't come. You still come.
This is also for those that has kind of semi-retired and decided want to come back to the business.
Well,
but
this explains a lot more of the basics.
Yes.
This is not. I'll be honest with you. Our relaunch is much more so for agents trying to get back into the business. This is for folks who have no idea what they're doing. Like if you're completely lost, if you don't understand the difference between Georgia MLS and FMLS and e-keys and how the boards work, that kind of stuff. This is just very, very basic new agent entry information. So that's what it's there for. So we hope that you guys are set up. I hope that you're going to have a really, really great and productive week. If Ming or I can be of any kind of value to you, please call, text, smoke signals, and we love y'all.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.